morning, good afternoon, good evening, what is this? This is Tanks and Tutties, brought to you once again by Tubbs and Franke. We are back, the both of us. Appreciate Big Pops filling in last week, but this week we got a normal episode. We got Locks and Longshots, of course, and then we're going to hop right into Who's Who. And then we're going to talk about some NFL news, just some couple of things, some players moving, some contracts, nothing crazy. Frankie's got some baseball to talk about, and then we're going to talk about the Players' Championship at Sawgrass this weekend, some golf.
One of the best tournaments of the year.
If we do have time, we will do a top five, but if we're tight, we'll probably skip over it or just fly through it quick. But let's get right into it. How was your weekend in Memphis?
It was pretty good. Went down there to do some apartment shopping. We ended up touring, I believe, 7 apartments. We think we found the apartment that we're going to move into. We just have to wait for, no apartments are priced out to June when we would be moving, so we got to wait a little bit longer to be able to sign on something. But the one we like is a nice high-rise. It's got a balcony. We can get a 2-bedroom, which I know you're hearing this, and a lot of people are probably thinking, what a beta. Imagine getting a 2-bedroom apartment for just you and your girlfriend. But who wouldn't want the extra bedroom? I mean, man cave, office.
It's also, wouldn't it be cheaper?
It's not cheaper, but I mean, it's the same price as what we're paying for our house here that we rent.
Oh, okay.
To get the 2-bedroom in Memphis. So probably doing a 2-bedroom gives us more space for when people come over. It'll be great. I do have a couple things about Memphis. First, I went to a barbecue restaurant down there. Everybody says Memphis barbecue is different. 100% correct. Memphis barbecue is by far the best barbecue I have ever had, and it's not even close. The restaurant we went to, I was going to get brisket. They were out of brisket because we went later in the night. So then I decided, you know what, I'll just get ribs. A half rack of ribs was like 8 ribs, by the way. Our meal, Paige got a barbecue pork sandwich. She's not huge into barbecue. She said it was the best barbecue sandwich she's ever had. My ribs, I did half and half wet, half dry. I've never had meat fall off the bone so easily.
Oh.
I went to pick up the ribs and pull out one so that I could eat off of it, and the bone just fell out.
That's
and then,
amazing.
So my meal came with mac and cheese, coleslaw, a roll, barbecue baked beans, and a couple sides of sauce. Mac and cheese, hands down, some of the best mac and cheese I've ever had. Barbecue baked beans, very underrated. People that don't like barbecue baked beans, you got something going on that you need to figure out, because barbecue baked beans are fantastic.
Fun fact about beans real quick before you continue. Did you know that in Britain and Europe, they eat beans with every meal?
Yeah, I think I did know that.
I saw a TikTok about it. I forget who said it, but every meal they have beans. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert, doesn't matter. They have beans. Sorry, continue.
So then this restaurant, they had shirts, and the reason we picked this restaurant was just because all the people that we had met when we were down there were where's a good barbecue place? They're like, oh, try Central Barbecue. Central Barbecue's the place. That was the place we went to. Not a super upscale place, just kind of, I don't know, they had some beers on tap, which was nice. So I had a beer with the meal. They had shirts there, and it has the Central Barbecue logo on the front. The back of the shirt says, wet, dry, naked, jerked hard. And I was like, all right. But then you think about it, those are all barbecue terms. So,
what's the hard,
it makes it
though?
That I wasn't quite so sure. But
yeah, everything else makes sense. I don't know.
Except for the hard. But, yeah, so Memphis barbecue was fantastic. And then we had a donut place the next morning on our way out. And I don't know if I've ever had donuts that were, so, soft. They were delicious.
I gotta say, I hate how you say donut. You say donut. You say donut. It's donut. There's a nut.
Oh, well. Anyway, so then we're on our way home, and I'd been talking about wanting to buy a Grizzlies jersey the entire time I was there, because I was like, you know what, like, if I'm going to pick a team while I'm down here, like, Grizzlies are the only team down here. It can be a second team to the Bucks, like, Bucks will always be number one, whatever. Love the Grizzlies jerseys. I make money on Desmond Bane all the time, so I was like, you know what, it fits. So I ordered 2 jerseys, fake ones, mind you, off of DHgate for like $20 a piece. I ordered a Desmond Bane City jersey from last year and the Vancouver Grizzlies, the teal retro jersey, Ja Morant. I believe it was later that day. It was either late. Was it later that day?
It was later that day. It was the preliminary. And then the next day was...
All the Ja Morant news comes out about him having a gun and him beating up. Well, I guess the one about the 17-year-old wasn't new news, but resurfaced, and it's just...
The day of you telling me, oh, I bought 2 jerseys, blah, 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 and I was giving you all the shit about being a Fairweather fan, that night it came out, like that story resurfaced with him and the 17-year-old, and then the next day was him flexing a gun on his Instagram Live. It was just... bad time to buy a Morant jersey.
I don't know if I've ever had worse timing in my entire life, but jersey's 6, so I'll be excited when it gets here as long as he's still in the league. So, but yeah, that was my trip to Memphis. This weekend, I didn't do much. I went out to the bar Saturday. I had a fantasy baseball draft, which I'll get into later. Other than that, I didn't do much. What about you?
My weekend was pretty boring. Friday, Saturday, I pretty much stayed at home, worked out. I started packing. I close on my house this Friday, so I'm very excited for that. I started packing some shit up on Friday, Saturday. And then Sunday I had the bowling tournament. We'll get into that in the Locks and Longshots. Some friends came out for that. It was a good time cheering us on. Really wasn't even a tournament. It was just a fundraiser for a church. But, I mean, it was $15. We got 3 games. We hung out, so it was fun. But, yeah, I'm just really looking forward to this weekend because Friday I close on my house, most likely. It might get pushed back depending on paperwork. But so then Friday afternoon I'll be doing work there. And then Saturday I leave. I go to Muskegon for a bowling tournament out there Saturday, Sunday. And then all next week is just going to be getting the house ready for moving next weekend, hopefully. Speaking of, I will not be recording next week. So Franke hasn't decided yet if he's going to bring on another guest or if he's just going to do a solo or if he's going to do an episode at all. So be sure to check out the Twitter. He'll be announcing it on there, what he's going to do. But Locks and Long Shots here.
Well, actually, before we get into Locks and Long Shots, I want to talk about last week's episode a little bit because I don't really get my say in many things when I'm not here. But so I want to thank Papa Tubbs for coming on in the first place. But I loved, so I turned on the episode in the car on the way home on Wednesday, and I was listening, and I just loved the long-time listener, first-time caller from Papa Tubbs. Also, he talked shit about Chucky Hepburn and Wisconsin. A, I didn't know that Chucky got hurt in the game against Michigan. B, I kind of fucking hate Chucky, so it was fine that he got hurt. Jake asked me why, and I said because he shoots like 70%, or he thinks he shoots like 70% from 3, and he'll just jack up the worst shots I've ever seen when there's 2 dudes on the court that are wide open. I also loved Dennis's Rocky 1 through 4, but specifically 3 and 4 because of Mr. T and the Russian. Great analysis there. Amazing
analysis. But did you notice when I was talking about my movies, I just kept saying, oh, great movie.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe movies very well, apparently.
Also, you thought that I had never seen Friday Night Lights. I have seen Friday Night Lights, but it was a really long time ago, so I don't really remember it, and I've probably only watched it once or twice. So
highly recommend checking it out again sometime. It's the best sports movie ever.
I was waiting for Moneyball to not be mentioned, and I was about to rage, so I'm glad that you at least put it in there.
Oh, it's one of my favorites.
I probably would have had a fit if Moneyball was not in the top 5.
That movie has everything, man. You get the seriousness. It's accurate as fuck. And then you got Jonah Hill for comedic relief. I mean, you can't. Exactly. What did I have it at, 2 or was it 3?
I think you had it at 2.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of my favorites.
That was all I had on last week's show. So,
yeah, I mean, listen, it was a blast. I always love talking to my dad. He does listen to the show every week, and I know he loved it. And then it was funny, throughout the week, he'd be like, I think he listened to it, and he hated how his voice sounded, and he just kept bringing up all this shit. He's like, I hated how I said this, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, man, that's why you just got to not listen. Like, I don't listen.
Also,
when we post, I don't listen anymore because I just hate what I say.
I think my favorite part of the show was him dropping the electric.
Yeah.
Great.
I wish that we had figured out, like, I know we kept saying we were going to, but we never did. But if you could see his facial expressions and just the pure serotonin boosting out of this guy, because he enjoyed it so much. So might try to get him on again in the future, maybe for a little NFL preview. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I'd love to shoot the shit with him while I'm on here as well. So
I think it would be great to get him on with you because your guys' dynamic is hilarious. And then since I won't be living here, he could use my brother's computer, so we can figure that out pretty easily, I think. But we'll have to keep that in mind. So you ready for locks now? Yeah?
I am.
All right. I am 26-19 on my locks now. So the bowling tournament. I forgot that it was a fundraiser, so they didn't oil the lanes, which, if you're not a bowler, that matters. That's a big deal. Excuse me. So I did not average anywhere near 210 or 225. So those are both a loss. But it was a blast. I mean, there was 50-50s flying around. I think they did like 6 50-50s. Didn't win a single one, of course.
Nothing better than a good 50-50.
Especially when you don't win a single one and you're not even in the same area code as the strip that's called. But
those are my favorites.
This week, I'm just going to say Michigan's going to get a win in the Big Ten tourney. I think their first game is Thursday or Wednesday, and they don't know who they play yet. They got to bye. I didn't look into golf enough to throw something out there, so we're just going to take Michigan to have one win, and then Longshots and make it nice and easy too. Didn't average 225. That was an L. Michigan to have 2 wins in the Big Ten tournament. I think if Michigan wins two games in the tournament, they'll make the big dance. So I'm rooting for them to win 2, obviously. So we might as well make it a long shot.
I would just like us to formally agree that neither Michigan or Wisconsin are probably going to be in the big dance. And that's okay. We're going to just fight it out in the NIT.
I think both teams have a chance to, but as we stand, it's a long shot for sure. I think they both need to win 2+ games. Wisconsin, maybe 3.
Maybe if Chucky was hurt more, we'd
The shitty
have a
thing
chance.
was that Michigan had, real quick, we'll do some college basketball, I guess. Michigan played Illinois earlier last week. They went to double overtime, had multiple chances to win the game, and they lost, right? But a double OT loss to Illinois is still fine. Then Indiana, they were in control for the whole second half. They let them come back, and they lost in overtime. And it's just, they could have had a 2 seed in the Big Ten. So it's just disappointing.
I don't like talking about Michigan, but I did see a video on Twitter, I believe it was yesterday, about the amount of times that Michigan lost by missed buzzer beaters this year.
Yeah,
it's
insane.
Yeah, I did not realize how many close games they played in.
Well, and every time they have a chance on the final shot, they draw up some bullshit play. Like one of them, we had Dickinson pull up for 3. What the fuck? We didn't even need a 3, first of all. Second of all, why is he your 3 shooter? It's frustrating. But we don't have
it
to
happened to work one time.
One time, but they needed a 3. But anyways, guess locks. Papa Tubbs, he took Gonzaga spread. He was nowhere near the spread when he was estimating it. I think he said 14, and it ended up being 28.5, but they won by 38.
Maybe he
39.
was talking about like first half spread or something.
I don't know, maybe. They covered both, so we're going to give him a W there. So our guests are 1-0, starting them out hot. He did say Michigan money line against Indiana, though. Close, but 0-1 on the long shots for the guests. Why don't you run through yours real quick?
Last time I was on, I had Jason Tatum over 29.5 points coming off the All-Star break. He did score 31, but it went to an overtime game, so it was pretty sweaty. So that was a win. I'm 5-3-1 on locks this year. This week, I'll get into golf a little bit later, but I have Justin Rose over Harris English in the tournament long matchup. So as long as Justin Rose finishes the tournament higher than Harris English, we get a win. I have some not super deep analytics on this, but I absolutely love this. If you can get anyone versus Harris English this week, I would take it. And then my long shots, 0-12 this year. Last time I had Ben Griffin top 20 at the Honda Classic. It was plus 280. He had a good day on Sunday going into the final day, or on the final day there. And after he finished, he ended up getting bumped down to a tie for 21st. Just because enough people moved up. So that one hurt quite a bit. But take the L there. I do have a lot of golf picks for my long shots this week. I don't really want to put out any right now just because I got to do some more research and the tournament doesn't start till Thursday. We're recording on Tuesday, so most of the stuff will probably be out when you guys are listening to this on Wednesday or throughout the day on Wednesday. And then I'm also on a 10-day 10K challenge. Calling Our Shot is back at it. I'm following him again. We're on day 2. It's getting messy already on day 2, so we'll see how it goes. But, yeah, that's my long shots.
Nice. What did we say we were going to do? NFL and then?
I think you said you wanted to do who's who and then everything.
Okay. All right. Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
Either way, it doesn't matter to me.
All right. We'll let you go first. So right now I'm looking at, I can see 2005 to 2017. I see 162 games. It's a baseball player, obviously, 162 games. It could be a pitcher or a hitter right now. And I'm just going to throw out a preliminary, somebody who retired in 17. Let's throw out, like, Cole Hamels to start.
No. I'm going to give you awards first. Because
Okay.
if I give you teams, I think it might throw it off a little bit.
All right. MVP. Sorry, it's zoomed out, so you might have to help me out here. He's got 2 MVPs.
No,
Rookie of the year.
he was 25th in MVP.
Oh, okay.
But he did win a Rookie of the Year in 2005. He was an All-Star in 2012 and 2014. And then he got MVP votes in 2005 and 2009.
Baseball is not my strong suit, so this is going to be interesting. So I'm going to try to be quick here with the guesses. Rookie of the Year in 05.
It is a pitcher, by the way.
It is a pitcher. Rookie of the Year in 05.
That's you can tell from the ERA and the wins-loss at the top.
See, I was going to guess Verlander there because his rookie year was around that time. However, there's no Cy Young in the awards, and that would definitely be shown. Rookie of the Year in 05. All right, I know it's not this, so I'm just going to... No, see, because this is tough because a lot of the people I'm thinking would have had a Cy Young. Man, this is harder when you're on the spot and don't know who it is because last week I just got to laugh at my dad for missing Herman Moore.
I can give you more.
Yeah, why don't you show some more.
I'm gonna give
go
you
with
some
no guess.
stats.
I'll look away in case you show too much.
Nope, that's good. I gave you some stats.
Okay, so
Here, I'll even go
it's a National
as
League
far
pitcher.
as-
Wait.
this.
So those are his hits, yeah? 100%.
No, that's what he gave up.
Okay. I was going to say. Jesus.
So you can see his games started.
Oh, so it's a reliever. Okay.
Yep. His saves, innings pitched, hits allowed, runs, earned runs,
Yeah,
home
see,
runs.
that just doesn't really help me until I get the teams, but I want to throw something out here. 05, reliever. I'm going to go with Fernando Rodney.
No, that is in the same time range. I'll give you age next.
Age doesn't help. Skip. Show the teams.
All right, fine. We'll just.
Oh, Jesus. A lot of teams. Oakland? Oh, wait. No. Is this from because me and my dad were talking about him? It's Orlando Hudson?
No, Houston Street. It's close.
Houston Street. Shit. I can't. That's hilarious.
As soon as I heard you guys talking about it last week, and I was like, oh, that's going to be my who's who next week. And honestly, I did not guess Houston Street before you guys got it last week.
That's hilarious. Wait, who's Orlando Hudson then? He wasn't even a pitcher, was he? No, he was a second baseman. Why did
yeah,
that
I was
pop
going
in
to say
my
he
head?
was an infielder.
How did we even talk about that?
Because you were talking about your top 5 greatest.
Oh yeah, Maglio
Detroit
hit the
moments.
home run
Yep.
off of him. Yeah. That's hilarious that you did that. Houston
I thought
Street,
you would
everybody.
like that.
All right. So I'm just gonna give you that for now. Just seasons. I'll tell you, it's NBA. Actually, wait.
Okay.
Let me do this.
I would have known it was NBA because NBA is the only one that lists the year format as like 2004 or 5.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna show. I'm
Okay,
gonna show you points too.
2004
I'll start you off with points.
through 2000.
Sorry, I kind of shaved them a little bit. All you're missing is the decimals, though, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
So he is still active.
I'm just gonna throw out Tony Snell.
No. I'm going to show. Let's go all the way to games. Boom, big chunk there.
Okay, so he led the league in minutes played in 08-09.
Yeah, and 11 and 12, I think that's All-Star, the star there. I shouldn't have cut off
Yeah.
so much. That's my fault.
That's fine. But he didn't. Okay, so the last column is points per game. So he wasn't a huge scorer. The most he averaged was like 19 a game. But he was, let's see, decent assister, not a huge rebounder. Still active. Is Rajon Rondo still active? I'm just going to guess Rajon Rondo. I know it's not, but
Nope. I'll give you position now.
shooting guard, small forward, 04, 05?
After this one, I'll give you everything, and you'll probably get it.
Udonis Haslem.
No. Great guess, though.
Mm.
All right, here's everything.
Philly, Golden State, Miami. Wait. What? 39. Oh, Andre Iguodala.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hell yeah.
Nice. 2 for 2.
I was like, who is still on Golden State that's old? And I was
Right.
like, and then for
I
some
didn't
reason
know.
when I saw Miami, it clicked.
I didn't.
I did
That's what
not
I was
know
thinking was
Philly.
going to happen. I only remember Golden State, so I figured maybe you'd be like, "Oh, Golden State was really good then," and say Iguodala. Well, all
Yeah.
right. Let's do.
That was good.
That was good. Let's do NFL first, real quick, because nothing really insane. Derek Carr went to the Saints. I'm pretty sure that kind of came out that the Jets were kind of going more after Rodgers, and then the Saints hopped in, which is funny too because the Saints last year when Derek Carr played them, he didn't pass midfield. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
So the Saints saw that and said, "Yeah, this is our quarterback." Even
This-
though he had
this
one of
is
the
our
best
guy.
receivers in the league and a great running back. But
It
yeah,
is a sad day in the NFL also, because this pretty much guarantees Jameis Winston will not be starting for the Saints this
Yep.
year. Sad
Free him
day.
up. Free him up to go somewhere. He's the perfect
Literally.
rebuild quarterback. He'll do some fun shit, but he's gonna suck enough where you get a good pick.
The Lions would really love a guy like that.
Honestly, if Jared Goff didn't look good last year, I'd be like, fuck it, bring Jameson. We got to get a quarterback anyways. Let's hit the tags real quick. So Tony Pollard got tagged. Lamar Jackson was tagged earlier today. It was a weird one, though, where teams can still negotiate a contract with him, and the Ravens can match that contract, and then he would have to stay with the Ravens. So it's really weird in that sense. So basically, he's going to play for the Ravens.
I'm gonna be straight up. I don't understand the franchise tag in the NFL at all.
It's gotten so convoluted with non-exclusive and exclusive and shit like that. His is non-exclusive, so it means he can literally just he can contract talk with other teams, but the Ravens get a chance to make that offer as well. Yeah, and if they match it, does that mean that he has to play for them? I don't know how that works. But
Interesting.
anyways, Danny Dimes got a contract. Geno got a big contract. I was shocked with Geno's.
Yeah, I didn't see what Geno's actually was. I did see Danny Dimes was like 160.
Yeah. I think it just shows how how crazy the money is in the NFL because these dudes don't deserve this money. Geno's 32 years old. Danny Dimes.
I don't know.
Is
Danny
hot
Dimes
garbage.
he's a franchise quarterback.
Maybe. I mean, he did have some flashes this year, but signing Danny allowed the Giants to go ahead and tag Saquon. And then my only other big news is that Rodgers to the Jets is looking more and more likely lately. I think it's pretty much set in stone that Rodgers will not play for the Packers next year. And I hope he goes to the Raiders because we're still waiting on that long shot for me.
I have some of the biggest news that you forgot about.
What's that?
Derrick Henry is being shopped.
I forgot about that. And honestly, I want to say it right now. The Detroit Lions do not want Derrick Henry. I have seen way too many Lions accounts saying, might as well call, blah, blah, blah. No way. No way, dude.
So
He's so expensive. He'll be so expensive, and signing a running back does not work.
I don't. For some reason, every time it shows up that a running back is looking to be traded or like being shopped or whatever, for some reason, all of these pages that I follow and like make their own lines and stuff. Do you know what team is always at the top of these lists?
What team?
The Buffalo Bills.
Oh, yeah.
Why?
I think because they always have cap, and they always have, I don't know. I mean, I feel like in terms of running backs, yeah, and then defense, they're always, every defensive player, the Bills are there at the top.
But like, I mean, James Cook, Devin Singletary is okay, but like James Cook is a second-year running back who's the brother of Dalvin Cook, proved to be a really good running back. Like, I'm not really sure why the Bills necessarily. I mean, it wouldn't hurt them to add Derrick Henry. Like,
Right.
it would be a good ad, but it just doesn't make logical sense. I don't think to add it.
I agree.
Also, Joe Mixon.
Oh, yeah. Is that all true? Like, that just started coming out today.
So from what I read, there were kids playing outside with Nerf guns outside of his house. Somebody inside of Joe Mixon's house shot a gun at them. It did hit somebody. They're in the hospital, non-life-threatening injuries, whatever. They're okay. It is apparently not Joe Mixon that shot the gun, and he's not being investigated.
Oh.
But somebody within his house shot a gun at children outside playing with Nerf guns, yes.
It's crazy, dude.
This is also after Joe Mixon was being investigated for some gun violence thing in the beginning of the year.
Well, and when he was in college, he beat that girl up. Remember that?
Exactly. Yeah, so little touchy. Maybe the Bengals could add a running back.
Well, Joe Mixon's on my Dynasty fantasy team, so he better figure fucking shit out. I'm going to keep him this year.
Yeah, I feel like you're just planting that seed so you can try to trade him, but
Hey, he'll have a great year if he doesn't go to prison.
I'll give you Cam Akers.
Negative. Give me a first and Cam Akers, you can have him.
That's my starting running back right there, Cam Akers.
Yeah, it shows how good your team is. Anywho, where do you want to go? Do you want to do fantasy baseball or do you want to do golf? Probably fantasy baseball, huh?
Yeah, I'll do my fantasy baseball real quick. So fantasy baseball is starting back up. I don't know if I've ever been more excited. Jake and I are in a league. It's a 12-team league. We have our keeper draft coming up here in a couple weeks. However, I joined a random league. I was looking for a league that was like more in-depth. Baseball is like my number one sport. And for some reason, I just love like minor league baseball and like keeping track of prospects and stuff. So I joined this league. It was $140 to join. You're paying for the first 2 years. So technically it's $70 a year. And we had our auction draft the other night. Mind you, this is a 16-team league, 23 major league spots. We had our draft the other night, and it started at 7 o'clock. Guess what time we finished?
Well, I don't want to guess because you already told me how long it took.
It took 6 hours and 5 minutes. We finished at 1 a.m. in the morning. And I'm going to say I'm not quite impressed with my team. But I'm currently in a minor league draft right now, actually. It's a slow draft where like you pick and then like you have like 6 hours to pick your player offline. So this is kind of fun. I got my first pick this morning. I had the first overall pick. Surprisingly, I didn't take a big name. I just took a catcher who I really needed because fucking Jonah Heim for the Texas Rangers, who's a bum, is my starting catcher right now.
Who'd you take?
I took Endy Rodriguez. He jumped Henry Davis, the big name prospect for the Pirates. But Endy Rodriguez is like 20 years old. He had a 1,300 OPS in the minor leagues and flew through all three levels of the minor leagues last year, hitting over 350. So
wow.
Hopefully that's my starting catcher, and he's going to get outfield and second base eligibility once he comes up to the majors.
You're going to end up drafting like 16-year-olds at the end of this minor league draft.
Oh, yeah. I know nobody listens to this, but my my third pick, if he makes it that far, is Ronald Acuna's brother. He's in the Texas Rangers system. He's expected to debut in 2025, but that's my shortstop for the future, even though I have O'Neal Cruz and Bo Bichette on my team.
If this like stays the thing, how cool would it be in like 2 or 3 years when you could be like, yeah, I drafted him in 2023? Like,
yeah,
that'd be
right?
pretty fucking sweet.
Well, and I'm also looking at like there's I wanted to get Jackson Chourio for the Brewers. He's 18 years old right now. He flew through all the minor league systems last year. He's in AAA. He's the top rated prospect in the Brewers, and I think he's like top 5 in all of MLB. Kind of the same thing where he hit like 300 the entire way through. But he's 18 years old. And in our league, if you draft somebody in the major league draft, you can't put them in your minor league spot, even though they might be a minor leaguer. So everyone was like hoping that he would make it to the minor league draft and not get drafted. Because once they're in the minor league spot, they don't cost you any salary, whereas the major league spot they do. And he went like, out of the 23 rounds, he probably went like the 18th round. It was insane.
Wow. How fast did Jackson Holliday get picked up?
He hasn't been picked up yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, he's probably not going to debut till 2025, but he's on my radar. I got my my full sheet written out here with my prospects. If you can see, the entire bottom of this is all prospects and what position they play. So
that's a lot.
Yeah, he was the third shortstop on my short list.
Speaking of lists, I don't know if I mentioned it last week. Remind me if I did, but my dad showed up with like notes. He had like 10 pages of notes for the recording.
Yeah.
Did I mention that?
Yeah, I heard you talking about it last week on the episode.
Oh my god! I was like, you've done
Gotta
more
come
preparation.
prepared.
You've done more preparation for one episode than I've done for all 36.
Gotta come prepared.
All right, let's talk some golf, man. Let's get into the swing of things. But
all right, so I'm gonna warn you. There's a lot of research. I spent a lot of time yesterday doing some research. I haven't done anything today just because I kind of did a lot yesterday. But here's what I've learned about this tournament coming up this week. So first off, we're playing at TPC Sawgrass, one of the best courses, most picturesque courses in all of golf. They're on the Florida swing, so they played at Florida last week. They're playing at Florida this week. For some reason, international players tend to play better here. I'm not really sure why. So this course will have chaos. In the last 2 years, there's been gale force winds, which have suspended rounds and made everything just a shit show. So whoever you take, be warned, it's going to be crazy and it's going to be a 4-day sweat. Iron play and around the green is huge in this game. So I believe it's like the 8th narrowest course and one of the shortest courses. So you don't have to be a big driver. Like if Bryson DeChambeau was relevant and still playing on the PGA Tour, he probably wouldn't do well here because you don't have to hit the ball very far. For DFS wise, I don't really know if I want to do DFS, but I follow a guy named Rick Run Good on YouTube. He does a bunch of DFS stuff and breaks down everything. He's got a super good model, kind of breaks down like what the course ranks compared to the rest of the courses and how certain players play. One of the guys I do want to point out is Ricky Fowler. Everybody has kind of forgotten about Ricky Fowler, but he is actually the hottest golfer in all of golf over the last 36 rounds. He's also won here in the past, and he has made huge gains in his approach, which is one of the key things here. So that's a guy I'm keeping an eye on. Jason Day, another guy I'm keeping an eye on, playing some of the best golf. He was tied for 10th last week in a course that's very similar to this, and he gained he's gained more than 3.5 strokes putting in each of his last 5 rounds. He's also won here in 2016, so that's another guy I'm keeping an eye on.
I want to point something out.
What?
You said you don't have to hit it very far here, and you know what that made me think of? Matt Fitzpatrick. Because in the documentary, they said, he doesn't hit it very far, but his irons are pure. He's good around the greens. I don't know how he's been playing lately.
But
I'm gonna throw out a long shot. Matt Fitzpatrick.
Wait, I would hold up. That was the next person I was about to talk about.
Matt Fitzpatrick to win. That's one of my long shots.
Before you place any money, just hear this. He's not 100% healthy. He's been battling a back injury, which
that's not good for golf.
Yeah, so he withdrew or he didn't play. I don't remember which tournament it was. A couple weeks ago. He didn't play because of his back injury. Came back and he said he was good last week. He played well for like the first 2 rounds, and then he just shit the bed, and it was bad. When healthy, yes, 100%. He is very dangerous. He putts very well. His iron striking is really good. But when healthy, 100%.
All right, I have taken away Matt Fitzpatrick as a long shot. I didn't know that. That's why you do your research, folks. That's why you listen to Tanks and Tutties, so you can hear Frankie's research.
And, when I'm telling you I did a lot of data, this is what I mean when I did a lot of data. I'm showing Jake my screen right now, and I just scrolled probably 5 times to show him all of the research I did.
That's insane.
I'll tweet it out tomorrow on the Twitter, but honestly, so last week, if I was on here last week, I was going to put out a lock. I don't want to say lock, but I was going to just mention that I didn't think Jon Rahm was going to play well. I'm not really sure what made me think about it, but I just didn't think he was going to play well, and he made me sweat because he played. I mean, he led after the first round last week.
He lit it up the first round,
and then he just slowly got worse and worse and worse. However, I think it's pretty unlikely that he plays that bad again, and I wouldn't necessarily shy away from him whether I'm playing him in DFS or if I'm betting him like top 20s, top 10, stuff like that. I probably will end up taking him top 20 this week if it's a decent number. There's a couple high-end guys I really don't like. Morikawa, don't like. He's back and forth every week. He lost strokes on the last 2 of his last 3 rounds. And it's not confirmed, but he just might not play well in the wind. He really didn't play well last week. He didn't make the cut last week. It was really windy last week. Hasn't played well in the past here. And then Patrick Cantlay. I'm going to try to find a way that I can bet him to not make the cut. He's missed the cut 3 straight times here, and he just doesn't show up for new events or for the big events. He's also playing with new clubs. So maybe he's just not used to them or fit with them yet, but
Jon Rahm top 20s, that's one you said, right?
Yeah.
Jon Rahm top 20 minus 165.
What's his top 10? Can you find a top 10?
Nope. All we've got is top 40, top 20, tournament winner so far.
Okay. I know in MGM you can get top 5, top 10, top 20, and top 40. So I might check MGM. And then let's see. Who was my deep sleeper that I like this week? I had one. Oh, Keegan Bradley. Keegan Bradley has played the most rounds here out of anybody in the last 5. He's literally played every round possible at TPC Sawgrass that you could play, which is the best out of anybody here in this field this week. He also doesn't lose strokes off the tee, and I know I said that off the tee doesn't really matter as much because it's not as long of a course, but it is narrow, so like the fact that he's not losing strokes means he's got to be at least accurate. And then on top of that, ball striking and iron play is super, super important this week, and he has gained strokes in ball striking the last 6. So if you're looking for a long shot, I'd throw out Keegan Bradley.
Jon Rahm top 10 plus 125.
I don't hate that.
I really don't. Oh, Keegan Bradley plus 5,000 outright. That'd be a huge hit.
I do like that. So, yeah, like I said, as I go throughout the week here, I'll definitely do some more research, and I know tomorrow I'm gonna get out a lot. Let me find. I have a couple tweets that I wanted to look at real quick too. Oh, here. The past winners and odds for the Players' Championship. So last year, Cam Smith won at -13. He was plus 3,000 to open. The year before was Justin Thomas. He won at 14 under. He was plus 2,000. Webb Simpson won in 2018. I know you like that name.
Fuck that guy.
He finished at 18 under and won it in 2018. And he opened at plus 10,000 odds. Jason Day and Ricky Fowler. Jason Day won it in 2016 at plus 1,200. Ricky Fowler won it in 2015 at plus 6,600. The average since 2010 is 14 under and plus 8,700 in the opening odds. 4 long shots, 3 mid-range, and 5 favorites have won in the past 12 years.
God, I just love betting golf, man. I could bet golf all day.
So my stat on Harris English, this might be one of the last things one of the last things I have. So Harris English, I mentioned before that I wanted to take Justin Rose over Harris English as my lock this week. Harris English has missed 6 straight cuts, losing a combined 29.8 strokes to the field at TPC Sawgrass. And this guy that I'm following on Twitter, I sent it to you yesterday. It shows how their past finishing positions were. I'm assuming it just goes 1 to 100 scale. 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19. Harris English finished 100, which is the worst in all of them. And didn't play the last 2 years. So you mean to tell me that a guy who's finished almost dead last the past 5 times he's played here and has now not played it he hasn't played it since 2019 because it was canceled in 2020 for COVID. So he hasn't played this course in 3 years, and you want to tell me he's going to beat anyone here?
That's about.
I'll take my odds.
That's about as close to a lock as I think we've had. Honestly.
Well, and then you look at Justin Rose. Like Justin Rose is an old guy. He's not amazing. He in his last couple of rounds. So last year he finished 100, not great, dead last. 2021 he didn't play. 2020's canceled. 2019 finished 8th. 2018 he finished 23rd, then 65th, then 19th, then 100th. So he's got a couple high-end finishes. Like, I'll take that.
Well, and just based off name, Justin Rose. I don't know Harris English. I also don't pay attention to golf very much, but I know Justin Rose.
Ooh. All right, this one will be the last one. So I love Ben Griffin. He put a sweet TikTok out today about all of the gifts that TPC Sawgrass gave them in their lockers this week. It was awesome. Custom shoes, a water bottle. It was awesome. If you're tempted to load up on Tom Kim and Ben Griffin this week, I don't know if I would recommend it. With over 30 golfers making their debut at TPC Sawgrass this year, here's how the highest finished players in the field fared in their very first Players' Championship. John Rahm finished 72nd. Rory, Scheffler, and Max Homa all missed the cut. Xander Schauffele finished second, and then followed that up with 3 missed cuts. Tony Finau missed the cut in his first one. Patrick Cantlay, 24th. Justin Thomas, 24th. Colin Morikawa, 41st. Sung J M and Victor Hovland missed the cut. Willie Z, 21st. Spieth, 4th, followed by 3 missed cuts. And then Jason Day, Cameron Young, and Matt Fitzpatrick all missed the cut in their first time.
Wow.
So I wouldn't suggest taking players in their first event here.
Hey, Frankie.
Yeah.
All right, look at the screen real quick and tell me who I am, okay?
Okay. All right. We don't need any John rant here.
I know you guys couldn't see, but I just pointed a BB gun at the camera and said, I'm Ja, baby. Boom.
There's also some stat. I don't remember. I'm not going to find it, but there was some stat about. I wish I could find it. I don't remember what it is. I'm not going to find it, but that's most of the golf I have right now. Like I said, more will be coming on the Twitter tomorrow. It'll probably be a lot, but yeah.
Well, let's do our top 5 then, because we have time. Great recap. Love putting in that research. I'm definitely going to tail a couple. the number one, though, if you're going to tail anything, go take Justin Rose over Harris English. I mean, shit. You got a guy that's performed the worst there out of everybody, and you can get the other guy. Like, come on.
I was going to take it last night because I was afraid of it moving. I decided not to, and I think I'm going to check right now. I think it is still the same. Matchups. It is actually got better. It's minus 136 instead of minus 138.
Nice. That'll make you a couple extra
Ooh.
cents.
Another one. I'm adding this one. Lock. Keegan Bradley, minus 118 over Tom Kim. We just talked about how first-time players don't play well. Keegan Bradley played the most rounds here.
There you go. Yeah, but you like the foreign guys. Tom Kim sounds foreign.
He's not actually.
Oh, now I'm a terrible person, aren't I?
I mean, he is Asian, but he's from America.
Okay. All right, so to stick with the golf for our top 5, we're doing top 5 courses we want to play in our lifetime. I'll start. My number 5 is Dubai Creek. Are you familiar or no?
I don't think I know the name, but I feel like I know the course.
I'm pretty sure you and I have played it on PGA 2K23 or whatever we play, but it's just so beautiful. It's Dubai, so you know everything's just extra as fuck, and the grounds are beautiful from the pictures I saw. You're number 5.
I'm actually going to interrupt here. Jackson Holiday was just drafted in my minor league draft.
Oh, spoke it into existence.
First round.
Spoke it into existence.
I believe that is pick 11. Yes.
Almost made it to the
pick
second
11.
round. All right, you're number 5. Stick to the program.
All right, number 5, PGA National. Not sure if you're familiar with this course.
I'm not.
So it is in Florida. It is very. You should look it up. It's like surrounded by water. There's a creek running through the course. There's pine trees everywhere. That was the one I was trying to think of when we were talking about this, and I said, "Man, there's a course that I'm thinking of. I just don't know how to describe it." And I found the pictures of it. It's one of the most
wow. I'm looking at
beautiful courses. Yeah. One of my favorite courses to watch on TV because it's just such a, I'm going to go back to my word, but so picturesque.
Yeah. Florida courses always look fucking beautiful too.
Yeah. And yeah, it's in West Palm Beach. I mean, sand is white.
Some of the resorts you can stay at too, I'm looking at. Oh my God.
Yep. Yeah, it's a beautiful course.
That's a great pick. My number 4, I put Sawgrass. Don't say much there. Everybody knows Sawgrass. Great course, beautiful. Also, like a lot of mine are what's the term? Historic, I guess you could say, the historic value. So I got Sawgrass at 4. Should be higher probably, but I got some others.
Yeah, I do have that on my list, but my number 4 is Pebble Beach.
Okay, it's on my list as well.
I like the course. I just don't know if I almost left it out actually. I have a couple honorable mentions that we can talk about after this, but yeah, I like the course. Just definitely not one of my favorites. I don't know.
I've played Pebble Beach on X Golf. Beautiful, challenging, but man, you want to talk about a good time when it's winter outside, but you get to go inside, and all of a sudden you're at Pebble Beach. Yeah, that's good times. My number 3, I've got St. Andrews. Everybody knows St. Andrews. It's like the number 1 European course. It's just old looking. Like it feels like it'd be like if I got to play there, I'd be like taken back in time. Like
well, and then you get like the road hole.
Yeah, and just the clubhouse. Like I would love to play that place.
The 18th where you have to hit it over the building.
Yep, and then the 18th is the one with the big ass fairway too. Right?
Yeah.
The wide-ass fairway. I'd like to see if I could somehow miss that fairway.
We'd find a way.
Yeah. You're number 3.
TPC Scottsdale, Waste Management.
Oh,
I don't think
miss.
there's...
Big miss on my end.
You don't have it on your list?
It's not on my list. I guess it would be an honorable mention. You know what? I'm going to redo. I'm going to take off Dubai Creek for honorable mention and put Scottsdale at 5.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say here. That's one of the best single holes in golf, the 16th at Scottsdale. So, yeah, that's all I have on that one.
My number 2, I had Pebble Beach, so we can skip right over that. I just love
I
Pebble
had
Beach.
Sawgrass.
I think Pebble Beach is higher for me because I got to play it on X Golf. You said you had Sawgrass at too?
Yep, I have Sawgrass. Did you happen to see PGA Tour's tweet about the amateurs playing the 17th at Sawgrass?
Nope.
They had like 95 amateurs play it over a week or something like that. Took the stats. It was pretty sweet. They finished plus 205, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Combined.
Wow.
Every group of 4 averaged. Actually, I think every player averaged 1 ball in the water. Like if you took all the balls hit in the water and split it up between all the 95, I think they averaged like 1.2 water balls.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool video.
How many shots do you think it would take for you to hit that green?
Honestly, I don't know because
over under 9.5.
When I was watching the video, I was like, I could step up there, and I wouldn't be that intimidated. Like it only sits like 140.
Yeah, but you got to.
But then I'm like, yeah,
that's the
and
problem.
like if the wind is whipping too.
Yeah, and the way
you get
that
up there and you're intimidated.
The way that my ball flight is, it's more of a line drive. Like I don't get air, so I think it'd easily be over 10 shots for me.
And I don't. I think
you get some height, so I think you might be able to stick it faster than I can.
I was gonna say irons for me are pretty good. I would say, I don't think either of us would take 10 shots to get it on.
Oh, see, I'm being humble then maybe.
I think if you put it at like
ego.
If you gave us... No, I think if you gave us both 4 shots, we could probably get one on.
All right. Your number 1, I hope we agree here. There's a pretty clear number 1. I've got Augusta.
So do I, yeah.
Okay, that's simple. The Masters.
You can't miss on Augusta.
It's just everybody wants to play that course. If you golf, that should be your number 1. I don't care what you say.
Well, and I think the exclusivity of it really adds to it because... only the best of the best can play there.
Right, like imagine being able to tell people you played Augusta. It's insane.
I think when I read about it, like if you want to play there, you have to be a member, and the members' fees are over $100,000 a year.
Yeah,
I believe.
Yeah, it's ridiculously priced so that the people that can afford it aren't going to be playing it all the time.
Yes.
And then if you win a green jacket there, you're able to play there as well. Outside of the tournament.
And I think you do get to bring a guest if you win a jacket, like you're a former champion member.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
The other one is if you are I saw something, I may be screwing this up, but if you are invited by somebody, say you know a professional golfer, you go with them, they won it, whatever. If you get a hole-in-one, you get a membership for life.
Yep.
And you get like a plaque for it and shit. But you have to pay for the plaque they give you, and the plaque is like 50 G's or something is what I saw.
Me and Ben Griffin are going to be going, you know?
Yeah. What do you got on your honorable mentions? Because I didn't have any.
I had Paynes Valley.
Oh, yep.
Tigers course in Vegas.
Definitely in the honorable mentions.
I also had Whistling Straits in Wisconsin. That's
By the way, Payne Valley isn't in Vegas. Did you say Vegas?
I thought, or it's not in Vegas. It's in
Missouri.
Nevada. Oh, why did I?
You might be thinking of Wolf Creek. That's the one in Vegas.
Okay, so we'll add Wolf Creek and Paynes Valley. I do want to play Paynes Valley.
Paynes Valley is Tigers course. It's in Missouri, and then Wolf Creek's the Vegas course.
And then my last one was Century World in Wisconsin. I've shown you pictures of that one. It's like $200 to go play it, but I think it's the 17th hole is a par 3, and it's just surrounded by flowers, so it's like super colorful, and it looks pretty sweet. But really nice course. I think it's lit up at night as well, so...
I would also throw Arcadia Bluffs on mine. That's the Michigan. That's like one of the nicest courses in Michigan.
All right. I'm loading up roulette right now.
Oh! I got nothing on the do not bet. I haven't bet in a minute, man, but I'm going to be betting some golf this weekend, so maybe I will next week.
I don't have anything right now. I'll probably have hole-in-one bets this week to add.
Ooh.
Because I know I'm gonna bet on hole-in-ones this week, and it's probably not gonna happen. So that's probably gonna be a do not bet list next week. But
see, that's fun to root for, though.
Exactly. All right, what numbers do you want? It's spinning right now from the last one.
How many numbers do I get?
I'll give you. We'll go 5 for $2 a piece.
All right. I will just take. I'm gonna mix it up. I want 15 and 35.
15 and 35. I'll go 23. 2. And let's go 10.
Ooh, we really mixed it up this week. If 3 or 9
yeah.
hits, I'm going to be pretty pissed because those are my 2 numbers. Your screen's pretty blurry and laggy. I can't see it, so maybe just do a...
All right, lightning numbers are coming. We got 3 of them. 14, 23,
Nice.
and 26. 23 is 200 times.
Oh, give me a 23. We're so due. Oh, he's silent.
It was 24.
No, dude. We got to start taking the Kobe number. Isn't that what it was last week when me and my dad did it?
I always take 24.
Ah, that sucks,
I
dude.
always take it.
We are so... It's been so long since we hit on roulette. Oh, my God. Oh.
Yeah, we're due big time.
Anywho, I got nothing else other than the fact that I'm closing on a house and I'm pumped, and I'm sure I'll talk about that next week. You got anything?
I thought next week you were going to be here.
Oh, yeah, shit. I'm not going to be here next week. So the week... Hey, the next time I'm here, I'll be recording from my new house.
There we go.
That's going to be interesting. Hopefully I get it all set up and my computer doesn't take a shit. All right, hey.
Didn't even think about that, but
Have a great weekend. Let's hit some takes, door some tutties. Like, subscribe, leave a review. See you guys next week.
peace.